Hey everybody, welcome back. In this video we are going to be talking about the teams that I'm going to be using for global in Dark Dimension 3 and the potential for the cosmic team. Might touch a little bit on city, but only because it's related to the cosmic a little bit, but focus is what I did for global and why, and then how the outlook's looking for cosmic, and maybe dabble a little city. So a lot of different reasons for why to do this, how I ended up this way. I've been in Dark Dimension 3 now for 10 or so days. I've put out a few videos for some of it. I'll put out videos for each one, but if you've caught any of those, you can see that it's definitely quite the grind. So anyway, I wanted to share some of my thoughts on how I kind of got, or how I'm looking for this part of it, and how the spreadsheet that I've got kind of helps me collect my thoughts and really kind of focus in. So anyway, let's go check it out.
Bring me WolverThor!
Okay, so I've got this massive spreadsheet that I've shown in some other videos that basically has global, you can see off to the left here, global, cosmic, city, and it has each character, and then I've got the different game modes, and I've kind of ranked each character within the game modes 1 to 10. I've got Dark Dimension 2 because you might already have them at Gear Tier 13 because of that, and then Arena, Ultimate 7, and War, and then I get an average score. I conditionally format the score to red is bad, and then green is obviously good, and then there's a grading in between. So that helps me really draw my attention to characters that I know are good in different game modes. And then I've got, the mini unique columns with bio, mutant, mystic, skill, and tech. And I place the cell for where this person is in this group. I color code it. All of this stuff kind of builds to the bottom where I can kind of see how many of these mini uniques I need and how many characters I've got in each different group. And I'll zoom in at this point so you can kind of see it a bit better. It's a bit too much. So you can see at the bottom here that, I could have potential of 11 bio tunes, 5 mutants, mystics, I've got a 6, skill, there's a potential of 7, and tech, there's a potential that I currently have on here 8. So and then it totals how many of these mini uniques you'd need, and then I've got down here how many I've got tunes I've got to farm, how many I've got already to 14, how many mats I still need, how much are in my inventory, and how much more I need to farm. And so from this, and then also knowing how difficult it is to get through some of these nodes, synergies, etc., I am thinking about exactly how to approach this thing. So, when I first got in, I just kind of got the tunes I thought would work, I was closest to, which was Black Bolt, Phoenix, Hela, Ultron, and Fury, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Fury. So that gave me a little bit of an assortment, everything besides City, obviously, because let's be real, City's terrible. And I started thinking, all right, oh no, I'm sorry, Sinister. Sinister was before Fury. And so, I had 3 global, 2 cosmic. And then I was like, all right, so now I have to start building towards my global. And as you can see, these columns here, I got it color coded so you can see the light blue are your global. The bio ones I'd even consider were Captain America and Yo-Yo. Mutants that I'd consider Storm, Colossus, Magneto, outside of Phoenix and Mr. Sinister, obviously. Mystics was Juggernaut. For skill, I had the Shield minions, except for, which one did I leave off there? Assault, and then Fury. And then in tech, the global were Vision, Falcon, Shuri, Science Supreme, and Ultron. So eventually, like I said, I settled in on definitely having Phoenix, Mr. Sinister, and Ultron, because those tunes are, without a doubt, great in all other nodes. Then I started looking at where I wanted to go from there, and it really became a mat crunch. I was looking again. I said I was going to jump into some other nodes a little bit. I was looking at bio, and I was like, all right, well, the city doesn't really have a lot of opportunity, and 3 of them I really think I need to get from bio. So I really want to stay away from there for global. Mutants, I could definitely potentially get some mutants there. I was like, all right, but Storm, Magneto, and Colossus, you know, I'm not sure a tank really serves you much good in this game mode. Magneto's got long cooldowns. Storm kind of the same. Juggernaut is a Mystic. I was like, well, I was kind of looking at some other Mystics for City and for Cosmic. Skill, there was just absolutely nothing. Just nothing. The only other one I was even considering was Sif for Cosmic, maybe Punisher for City. I threw Kingpin in City just because I'm trying to find anything in City that is a potential. And then, you know, Tech, I was already had Ultron and Scientist Supreme. I was looking at some other Cosmics, so I was like, man, I'm already kind of tight on Tech gear. So, in looking at this, I was really honed in on skill. And Fury, I thought, you know, he's good around the board. Really helps with some other things. And Trooper, who I was against for quite a while, what it ended up coming down to is obviously there's this huge gear crunch. Not just the mini uniques, but the orange superior catalysts, the superior catalyst, the damage catalyst, the focus catalyst, the health catalysts. There's just a shortage on all this. And on top of that, I started getting into Dark Dimension 3. And it doesn't matter who you bring. You need Phoenix for the first 4 to 8 nodes, and then a team to go with her. You know, so I was like, you know what? As much as I don't want Trooper on any of these other game modes, for me to more likely move on to another team, I should probably just do Trooper. And I did. I was like, you know what? I'll throw him in on War Defense. The gear requirements, he doesn't need any mini uniques, and the superior catalyst types that he needs are pretty minimal. So I was just like, you know what, forget it. He'll hit people when they, you know, when people attack those around him, and almost no matter who you bring, they're gonna get 1 or 2 shot anyway. So why use all this other stuff on anyone else? I was just like, let's just do Trooper. So I decided to do Trooper. It just kind of, you're almost forced into that decision at this point in the game, unless you want to wait forever. But even if you do and you think you have an optimal team, I'd argue that there is no optimal team. You want to have some synergy, you want to have some Red Star recognition on your tunes, but I've heard of 7 Red Star Colossuses getting 1 to 2 shot on the 3rd and 4th nodes in Dark Dimension 3. So why build them up that much? So anyway, so my cosmic or my global team ended up being Shield Trooper, Fury, Ultron, Phoenix, and Mr. Sinister. And my approach to that is going to be get Phoenix to her special, hope to get her to her alt. See you again tomorrow. That sucks. That's the game mode. You know, I've been complaining in my actual runs about it that it doesn't feel like it's very strategic. It just feels like you spend your time hoping for great RNG. You see if you can get it. You try it over and over until you do. And then you wait till the next day. You know, you hope to get your Phoenix. Maybe you res your Phoenix to do another special to take off that 15 to 20%, depending off the special, depending if you have the T4s in there, making it 20%. But that's it. It kind of came to be that way. Unfortunately, you know, and it kind of is what it is, you know. And so then I started looking at my Cosmic a little bit. You know, I already have Black Bolt and Hela, and so I was starting thinking, well, that leads a little bit to Asgardians because I have Hela. I have a 5 Red Star Loki. And again, going in these nodes, you need to have other summons or evade type dynamics to be able to last longer. And so I was like, well, my Loki's kind of staring me at the face. I already have him gear tier 13. He's 5 red stars. He can summon. He can stealth. He stealths Asgardians for longer. They have some self-heal. I'm like, you know what? This makes sense. So I was like, I'm doing Loki. So I moved on to Loki. So that's 3. So that means I need 2 more. You know, I immediately went to Minerva because I was like, well, she's got that 15% alt for whatever her cooldown might be. You know, if I could get Star-Lord next turn, if he could get a turn or 2 a day, you know, he could feed her some energy. I might do some blinds with him to help people last longer. And I was like, all right, so that's a couple more tech tunes. And so I'm kind of like, all right, that's a possibility. Thor's still in the equation because of his passes for when Greg gets hit, Hela, Loki. I don't recall if he builds charges for the Loki summons, but if he does, that's more of a reason to bring him in there. Problem is what this starts doing is focusing in on my Mystic, which I'm already looking at 2 city tunes for Mystic. So that's where I jump back to Star-Lord and start thinking about Sif for skill. Problem is I think I have 3 or 4 stars on Sif, so I've got to have 6 stars on her because I have Black Bolt at 6 stars. So I've got her at 6 stars, but I don't know. So that's kind of where I started settling in at. I just was thinking, all right, maybe that's what I need to do is definitely Loki, probably Minerva and Star-Lord, depending on my tech gear. And, I scroll down here to see what I got. If I do take those 2, which I am counting for at the moment, I still need I need 88, almost 90 of these tachyon conductors, aka flaming burritos, 88 nanites. And I'm like, all right, well, if I go to the Mystic here, I'm like, whoa, I am super short here. That's without even factoring in Thor. So I'm like, okay, I'm not even close. So if I had another one there, I need even more Mystic gear. So I'm like, all right, you know what? Star-Lord, I'm closer to getting Star-Lord than I am Thor. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at. I don't know. This, again, I'm going to keep preaching this until I see differently. Just get in, plan for a terrible experience. It's not fun. I wish I could say there's strategy behind it. The only strategy behind it is getting a team in there quicker to start with your Phoenix, and then God only knows how Cosmic City is going to be because you don't have that 15% drain every turn guaranteed. Minerva, you've got it depending on energy, every 3-4 days. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. That's the guidance I wanted to give at the moment. And again, red stars can determine this a little bit. Your specific gear situation can determine this a little bit. But I really like kind of the map that I've got here in front of me for myself, especially when you factor in all these other game modes. So anyway, that's where I've got. Check out my Dark Dimension 3 videos. They're going to be pumping out, every few days. I record them every day, but I only illustrate them or send them out every couple days, depending when I get time to actually splice it together, because it takes forever to splice it together because I'm constantly dying and coming back to life and needing to re-record and edit, and it's just a lot of work. So anyway, appreciate you guys stopping by. Hammer down that like button, click the subscribes. Share with your alliance mates, friends, family, grandparents, girlfriends, boyfriends, anything. And until next time, I hope you have a fantastic day.